No que tú no ves que esto no es un juego, esto siempre es fuego, quemando, quemando.
No scholarship, still ballin'. Pentacles of records like a mosh pit, ayy. 24/7, call it hospice, ayy. Dopamine straight to the conscience, hold up, yeah, I know the way. Out of tune, let me help you find the key. If I ever cross the line, what was me? I was destined by design. Life's not honest, we got something to be thankful for. Be patient, no one's sorry to keep you waiting. Count your blessings. Old school Chevy with the ropes on the side. No flex. Inferno, call it fuego. We burning. We burning. We burning. Inferno, call it fuego. We burning.
Sientes el calor, sientes. Entiendo que tú no ves que esto no es un juego, esto siempre es fuego, quemando, quemando. They ain't like me before, they gon' hate me now. Not even Undertaker can take me down. I've been given so much that I'm thankful, wow. I don't deserve my wife, but she made me proud. I hear a lot of garbage I'm taking out. I don't got time nowadays now to break it down. Every move calculated so I make it count. Count your blessings, Lord, help me be patient now.
Life's not honest, we got something to be thankful for. Be patient, no one's sorry to keep you waiting. Count your blessings. Old school Chevy with the ropes on the side. No flex. Inferno, call it fuego. We burning. We burning. We burning. Inferno, call it fuego. We burning.
Yo, what up, what up?
What's going
We are
on?
live. This is Crescendo in the Hype. We got Kareem in the building.
What's good?
We have Orange is Media, aka Leon Orange. Say what up.
What's good? What's good, family? What up?
What up, what up? You tuned in. We are live now. I'm actually going to throw on the first song. We have, we just celebrated July 4th and Independence Day, so I figured we play Welcome to America by Lecrae. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon from the flight deck. We're cruising at 37,000 feet. We just passed over the coast. We'll be beginning our descent in about 30 minutes. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to America.
Yeah. I was made in America, land of the free, home of the brave. And right up under your nose, you might see a sex slave being traded. And we'll do anything for the money. Boy, mama might sell her babies. Sell porn, sell pills, anything to pay the bills, anything to bring that paper. Gotta scratch that itch, gotta scratch them ticks. Ain't rich, but I might be. And I'ma shoot these flicks, I'ma turn these tricks, anything for a slight fee. Yeah, made in America. Mama told me that I belong here. Had to earn our stripes, had to learn our rights, had to fight for a home here. But I wouldn't know a thing about that. All I know is drugs and rap. I probably could have been some kind of doctor instead of holding guns and crack. I was born in the mainland, great-grandpa from a strange land. He was stripped away and given bricks to lay. I guess you could say he a slave hand, but I was made in America, so I don't know a thing about that. All I know is Uncle Sam looking for me, working on his corner, so I know I gotta pay tax. Getting paid in America, I was raised in America, and this is all I ever known. If I'm wrong, then you better come save me, America. Welcome to 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 America. Man, I die for America. I served my time for America. Got shot back, went to war, got back, and ain't nobody give a jack in America. I could've lost my life, why I lost my wife. I can't even get right in my homeland. Cold sweats, whole text, paranoid, looking out for a threat in my own land. I was trained in America, how to get up in the planes in America. Flew right into the building, taking out some buildings, people getting killed in America. And I'm still in America. Though America ain't feeling me, I went to war for this country. Turned around, came home, and you grilling me? When y'all free here, saying you don't wanna be here, well, you probably couldn't breathe here if I didn't load a couple magazines here. Y'all just complaining in America. I'm jumping out of military planes from America. Hey, I was made in America. That's why I'm out here saving America. I got a brother in the cemetery now because he wanted y'all safe. And everybody want the freedom, but nobody want to hear about faith. We bled for America, to keep y'all fed in America. But what's the point of talking? A lot of y'all don't really even care, America. Welcome to 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 America. I wish I lived in America. Wanna raise my kids in America. Heard everybody rich, all I gotta do is run, jump, kick. I'm a hit in your area. So please pick me, America. I know you probably never loved me. You never hear about me on the news, and you probably never been to my country. I hear you selling education, and got clothes that you throw away. Got plenty food in your nation. I can tell cause a lot of y'all are overweight. I already work for y'all. I'm in the sweatshops making these shirts for y'all. Now I ain't getting money, go to bed hungry, but I make some exports for y'all. Y'all don't know a thing about that. You was made in America. I'm trying to find me a ticket where the sky is the limit. Catch a plane to America. It should be plane to America. Y'all blessed and you got it made. Heard y'all don't pray no more. Y'all ain't say no more. Y'all looking for another way. Well, I hope it ain't true, but I'm packing my suit. Farewell to my motherland. Said bye to my loved ones. Fate, here I come. I'm going to another land. I done made it to America. I'm amazed at America. But I couldn't get approval to stay, so they sent me away from America.
And if he's there, then I hope that he's pleased with me. This is not done easily. I cook right, but the rhyme books that I write change since the Father's aim is to see Jesus Christ look alike.
Come on, guys, not pleased that you bust Glocks, rocking your socks, spot hot on the block, stay ducking from the cops. Not moved by your Hummer 2 is rap will plumber you. Hope these bars trouble you, cause you're in trouble, dude. Since 2, as you flues on your late night peruse, beastly like a zoo, eating men like Jews. Peanuts, see young bucks, buck wild, copy the ghetto style, though the ghetto's foul. Please, man, your jag ain't jiggy when you drunk and you crash into a tree in a frenzy. High off weed and Remy, wanting more like Demi. Lead a club on your city while some chicks acting friendly. AIDS waits from your first blind date, cause it was a blind date and you walk in a blind face. Please, man, y'all listen, living reality, y'all wishing. Death front, y'all all kissing, all missing when judgment day comes, cause you can't stand in judgment, not believing in the sun. Please, man, I want him to be pleased when he comes, not works, just faith in the sun. Come on.
Please, man, I hope that he's pleased with me. This is not done easily. I cook right, cause the Father's aim is to see Jesus Christ look alike. Please, man, I hope that he's pleased with me. This is not done easily. I cook right. You can't please him on your own, cause the Father's aim is to see Jesus Christ look alike.
Jesus, I want him to be pleased, bad as I want my grades, but don't want them to be D's. I at least want them to be B's. I don't creep simply cause I don't want him to be green. Watch, it is the pleasure of God for his people to use his word like a measuring rod. Truth and Jay Silence, we're indebted to God. We can't pay him just get some presidents, God. It's gotta be more than that. So why the weed is being passed as people are looking to see what pleased them in the past. What was it? What did? What does? What does it? What's he love? What bugs him? Watch. And as we look through the lens of the past, we're reminded God was pleased with the skins of the calf. So he and the Jews can be friends at last. He can overlook their guilt and throw their sins in the trash. But since he's no longer using the blood of bulls and goats, and he's revealed how many of my bulls can approach him, get close to him, host him, boast about him. From his perspective, be identified as wholesome. We've taken full advantage. He's so pleased with us now that if he comes in a second, me and my bulls have vanished. And me, Christ in the air, throw rice in the air, forever hang with him like dice in the mirror. Let's go.
Please, man, I hope that he's pleased with me. This is not done easily. I cook right, cause the Father's aim is to see Jesus Christ look alike. Please,
slave a slave, and a trade a trade. Exchange life for its death, that's the proper exchange. Watch, bullseye like a shot in the range. Please the papa through the sun, that's what God has arranged. Yeah,
Cause he was pleased to bruise his son.
talk to him, Silas.
Drop to your knees, please do this, son.
Yeah, dispose of your weed, please lose your guns. We gon' continue to please him till this groove is done.
Please, man. I hope that he's pleased with me. This is not done easily. I cook Mike. Cause the Father's aim is to see Jesus Christ look alike. Please, man. I hope that he's pleased with me. This is not done easily. I cook Mike. You can't please him on your own. Cause the Father's aim is to see Jesus Christ look alike. Jesus Christ look alike. Jesus Christ look alike. Come on now. Jesus, Mo, Jesus. Jesus Christ look alike. Jesus Christ look alike. Come on now. Jesus, Mo, Jesus.
Yo, what up?
What's good,
How
folks?
you guys doing on Facebook Live as well, on radiounc.net, whether you downloaded the app or you're just listening online. Thank you guys for tuning in to The Hype. We got Kareem in the studio,
What's good, people?
and we got Orange's Media. What up, bro?
Orange's Media, Mr. Respect the Mic, Mr. New Piece Monday. What it do? What's
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
fam,
yeah.
man? Good seeing you, bro. I'm glad I'm
Yes,
here, bro.
Yes, bro. I, love
like that energy.
I
I like
love
that
it. I
energy.
love
Yeah,
it, man.
man.
We get some people on here, they're like sleeping. But to be honest, it's been a crazy week. You know, July 4th drop.
Oh, yeah.
And right around the corner, we had a album drop from Jay-Z, 444.
Uh-huh.
And everyone's hyped up. At least
Not
everyone.
everyone. Is hyped up.
And then there's people hyped up in different reasons why they're hyped up. So like whether they be angry or whether they happy with it. But I just wanted to talk about this. He did an exclusive release through Sprint.
Which is the first garbage move you can make.
It was actually Tidal. That's the name of the music
Yes,
company. It
yes,
was Tidal.
yes.
It was
But
Tidal.
it was released
Yes.
to Sprint customers exclusively.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
which
Let's
was
add
the
that on.
first-
Let's
Yeah,
add
yeah.
that on.
He's part owner of Tidal.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
He's the
Sprint-
part owner of
but
Tidal. It was
Sprint-
exclusively on Tidal.
Hold on, let's clarify the Tidal Sprint thing first of all. Jay-Z is not the major stakeholder in Tidal. That's the first thing. Jay-Z is the public image for Tidal. Tidal is not publicly owned. It's privately / pseudo publicly owned by the artists that invest in their music in Tidal. But Jay-Z is the public face. He's a spokesperson. They did a very smart thing in putting his face out there as a Tidal spokesperson because you get the ghetto props for doing that, right?
Yeah.
As Dr. Dre is in Beats, doesn't
Yes.
mean he doesn't have any less stake in the company, but for marketing purposes, it's more advantageous
Yeah.
for Dre to do that. And Jay-Z is a musician, so he may want that extra look.
Yeah, and I think there's other artists like Usher, Alicia Keys, Kanye West that bought into the let's get more money off of streaming than we can at Spotify, than we can at
It's the future.
And
It's the wave.
And I'm gonna be real. We're gonna need more than 15 minutes for this, but let's
do it. Let's do it, bro.
let's
do it.
First of all, let's start off by let me get this out of the way because I'm gonna get hate mail, I'm gonna get hate texts, and all this.
I'm getting it already, man. I'm getting it
gonna say.
already.
So let me start by saying this. First off, kudos to Jay. I respect what the man is doing. He is making boss moves. He is owning his brand. He is owning his image. He is owning his paycheck. I think as an artist, that is the most important thing you can do. He owns everything from start to finish.
Don't forget the masters.
And the masters, obviously. You own your music, you own your brand.
You also
I give
gotta
you props for that.
add that he went platinum without even releasing it.
Wait. I love that Jay-Z is able to trick the RIAA into giving him platinum on this album. So first, let me give you kudos for this as a finance guy and for business moves. Let me give Jay-Z a big high five for tricking Sprint into getting this exclusive release. So I'm gonna say that first. Sprint dumped a boatload of money in Tidal, and I guarantee you this was in mind when they dumped that boatload of money in. So I'm gonna give him straight up props for doing that. I have no hate for that. He did something very similar to this with the Droid release when he released his what was it?
Magna Carta Holy
Magna
Grail
Carta.
for Samsung
yeah.
users.
They released it for Samsung Music, and it was quote unquote certified platinum in the first week. RIA came back and said, pause. You bought all your units, you distributed your units. That doesn't count as platinum. So we'll see what happens for this first piece that comes out. He did get the streams. He got the listeners. I appreciate it. I respect it. Why he did it on Sprint,
Probably
I don't know.
cheapest
I'm at a
thing.
loss for words because if you're talking quality, Sprint is not necessarily the name you want to mention. But anyway, so I want to give him props for that. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and give your other props for. What'd y'all think about the album?
Well, the actual album itself, obviously, it was actually a more lyrical Jay than I've heard in a while.
True indeed. True indeed.
You know, to be honest, like he was actually dropping wisdom. I had some people on Facebook calling him, like basically, you know, you're reckless throughout your whole life, and then when you become a dad, you start talking to your kids like, y'all shouldn't do this. So it's basically the dad album.
More socially aware, socially conscious. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, being the dad. This is, you know, being a black parent. You know what I mean? Telling your kids to do this when you did this in your past. You know what I mean? Like.
So this is his grown-up album, and 50,
Yeah.
50 gave him credit today, and 50 meant it as an insult, but I kind of take it as it was a compliment. He was like, "Yo, this album was nerd." He was like, "I felt like this album needed some glasses and a bow tie on, because it was educated," and 50 had a problem with that, but we see what 50 makes. But
Yeah.
it was kind of one of those things. This was a grown man album. Like I've always respected Jay-Z as a lyricist. I've always respected him as an overall artist. But this album, I respected his content more than anything. I'm all about empowerment. I'm all about that movement of positivity. And previously, we'd seen that in a few Jay songs, a few Jay albums. When I say positivity, I mean positivity at its core, not necessarily needing to sell drugs or glorifying the game, because we all want to get out of that game. That's why Jay-Z's doing what he's doing now. He needed to get out of that. But this whole album was just positive, and I appreciated that. It was him teaching not just his kids, but him teaching another generation. Like I loved on, I think it was 444 when he was talking about, well, how do you think? He's like, what do you think wealth is? He's like, wealth is generational. Then when he talked about investing in things, not just real estate, the things that are common to invest in, but investing in art. Like I thought that was a beautiful thing, because I've been saying that for years and nobody will listen to me. They're like, oh, that's what white people do. That's for white people. Well, how do you think they're acquiring the wealth? This is why.
Absolutely.
I think it was a very transparent album as well. He was very truthful about what's going on in his life.
He had Rob Kardashian.
Let me give you my
on
thoughts on it.
Please.
All right, so out the gate, Sprint. All right, I'm a Sprint customer. So for 6 months, Sprint users can get Tidal for free. That's what that deal was, to give their customers access to a free music service, so that they don't have to go out and spend their money with Apple Music or Spotify or anything like that. That's what the business deal was, not a trick, but the business move was. That's what that was. Now, so when he certified platinum, you know what I'm saying, in a week or in that time or whatever, is because he didn't buy those albums. Ty didn't buy those albums. Sprint fronted that money because they know they have so much faith in Jay-Z as an artist and Tidal as a company. So that's why he's platinum before he even comes out.
It's not certified yet, because didn't the same thing happen last time? You have to keep in mind, these are free streams. These are not purchases.
But
so
they're changing. You gotta understand, these are like
I got a digital download.
Chance the Rapper has not sold an album, but still only this year he was eligible for a Grammy, because they're changing the game right now. Streams are considered album listens. I think 1,500 streams is like one album sold, and like 5,000 is like you know what I'm saying, a certain amount. So they're changing the game as it goes along.
I respect
nobody's
the hustle.
buying
I can't knock it.
They're streaming now.
Yeah.
So, but for the album or whatever, most personable Jay-Z album, everybody know Jay-Z is like very just low key, very chill. Most personable album, most socially aware album. And he actually has something to talk about. He's talking about his wife and infidelity. He's talking about art. He's talking about investment. He's talking about O.J. Simpson. He's talking about rights. He has things to talk about. Magna Carta Holy Grail was just rich nigga rap. This time he's actually talking about substance, and when you have substance to talk about, it's there. So the album is perfect. Top 3 Jay-Z albums all time. That's all I'm saying. I'm putting it all out there.
That's where I gotta stop.
So before we get into more of this talk, because we could talk the whole show about this, I'm gonna play some more tunes, because this is the hype. So we're gonna play some artists. We got Nothing Is Something by Eons D coming up next. We did that throwback for you in the beginning of the show with The Truth and Lecrae. But we got Eons D and then Nowadays coming up. You're listening to The Hype, y'all.
Yeah, see this an arcade, gotta pay to play the game, can't save the game, but if the mark you leave is the most high, that'll display the name, leaving all this cash on the table, I can wait, before Beyonce made a J, say your name, me and Jay, baby, putting physics on paper, it was taking shape, TDK tapes in a cheap recorder, we ain't waiting to see if people support us, St. Pete, Florida was jacking Atlanta, Georgia, we wasn't drinking the water, stranded on a peninsula, but there was no perimeter, for what the Pentecost, yeah, the Pentecostal pimping us, since the beginning, this how it's been, this what I do, it's nothing, and I drop it like whatever my dude, it's nothing, they be yelling, get money, it's nothing, Benjamin Franklin, I'ma keep it 100, it's nothing, compared to this light I've been given, it's nothing, compared to this life I've been living, it's nothing, and now I lay it down for the cause, when I consider the cost, won't count it as loss, it's nothing. Yeah, I spit space bars to separate my word from yours. You say the world is yours, my universe is the Lord's. All our perks and awards is nothing. Dirt in the eyes of the poor. The suffering, puff of dust, disguised as more. It's kinda disgusting, but there would be dust and some rediscovering. They saying I ain't shiny enough, or grimy enough. Kinda remind me of a diamond in the rough. Now I ain't gonna act like my assignment isn't tough, and I ain't gonna act like I ain't been promised as much. Nah, nobody reached the mountaintop without climbing up. Signing up, can't come across it by blind luck. Since I was 9, told stories on a dime. That's why every rhyme is a book. I'm dropping storylines, multiple floors to explore, cause there's more to define. Leading mortals to the divine, this is what I do. It's nothing, and I drop it like whatever my dude, it's nothing. They be yelling, get money, it's nothing. Benjamin Franklin, I'ma keep it 100, it's nothing. Compared to this light I've been given, it's nothing. Compared to this life I've been living, it's nothing. And now I lay it down for the cause. When I consider the cost, won't count it as loss, it's nothing. Yo, some just wanna fit in so bad, they mimic fads till it renders them an ad for the industry. These men in drag, they be trying to speak for women effeminate, but won't let a feminist give a speech. Every rapper with 2 chains be like, I'm different. But if there was change, then we would see the difference, deliverance. All we see is Twitter events, contradicting predicaments. You know, willing participants, pissed about how the system is. Victimhood is villainous. Once we're victimless, we'll see who the villain is. Cruella de Vil is real, this isn't a Disney flick. So many Mickeys and Minnies behind the picket fence, and they be like, yo, I don't listen to lyricists. That's ignorance, rapping without the gift is like empty boxes on Christmas. It's all about the appearances, but if it's all about I, then I'm here with the irritant.
Yeah. Nowadays, what up? It's your boy Just Off, man.
It's real hip-hop music from the soul, y'all.
Oh, yo, word to my mother, pops told me that my pain would make me suffer. So my claim to fame was trying to maintain the ways that I suffer. My cousins will always picture raw in and out of liquor stores. Stolen long enough to see the faded chocolate liquor pour. Teachers said we're helping, remedial classes just weren't helping them. ISS and barbers how they dealt with them. Hard to excel when 5 students share the same math book. And God forbid the truancy had you inside this black book with outlooks that none are good and nobody's great. You see, our demons were internalized and nobody's safe. My pops left me with his duffel bag, I spoke at his weight. I say we all told those stories well, but nobody's safe. My homies told me poetry had me flowing. I had the gift of gab connected to the heart of my city. Living the gritty chats, professing hope for those who were with me, witnessing greatness. Unravel, cause living to grab the mic was half the battle. You heard?
It's real hip-hop music from the soul, y'all.
Harrisburg, Carman, Road 18C. First my mother had my brother, then my sister, then me. Was known to be real shy and quiet. Rarely said a word, but my imagination was vivid. Plus my skill to observe, which must have led to my writing descriptions well played out with words. Sometimes it's still hard for me to track the years of my childhood. Smoking weed at 14, embracing a part of me nobody would. Meanwhile, I joined the cypher, just a freestyle, venting my frustrations in a circle full of senile. Back in high school, I was never into the battle scene. They even choked up when a whack MC wanted to battle me. It was just my pen and pad with me, opened up gradually, writing stories of my struggle, ignoring all my faculty with dreams to be a fool. Time a MC, but could the self-aspirations kill the rhymer in me? I guess with growth, preservation, and with time it will see. Nowadays, co-signing memoirs of an MC.
Intellect prevails from my hanging cross with nails.
It's real hip hop music from the soul, y'all.
Popular pie plant pictured here.
Yeah, you can.
Harrisburg's rising tide of violence
Real
is
hip
the
hop
top
from the
story
soul,
this Tuesday
y'all.
night,
You can figure
and it
that
was
out. That was Eons D and Nowadays. Some dope local artists. We dropped the Spotify list afterwards, so you guys can check out their music. But you know, if you guys are watching us, you would have seen these guys arguing in the background and not knowing what's up. You know, we can get into that, but I honestly brought Orange on because I really want to talk a little bit more about your new Piece Mondays.
New Piece Mondays,
Okay,
man. That's
now,
what it is.
Everyone knows you from Respect the Mic. So
Yes.
now from Respect the Mic, it's New Piece Mondays.
New Piece Mondays, man. Just to talk a little bit about it, man. It was something that I wanted to bring to. This is something that's really been on my heart for a long time. Now, I'm used to doing an open mic called Respect the Mic. You know, live band, host, MCs get up, poets get up, singers get up, and it's a big show. It's a big pomp and circumstance. But I wanted to kind of strip it down. I wanted to kind of, like, you know what I'm saying, kind of roll it back and take it back to that coffee shop environment, that intimate environment where y'all squeezing in, you know what I'm saying, nobody really got a chance to sit down. You might have to cop a squat on the ground just to hear somebody spit, not over no beats, not with no live band, but just spit, just raw essence, whether it's poetry, whether it's singing, it's all one because it's being delivered the same. So I wanted to strip it down to that, and that's what we're doing on Mondays. Everybody's most stressful day seemed to be on like a Mondays, so that's why I kind of came up with the idea that, hey, y'all go to work, you know what I'm saying, from 9 to 5, at 8 o'clock, come through to the show, spit your new piece. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I can
that's what
appreciate
it
that.
is.
How'd you get started in this, in what you're doing all together? And if you could, tell us a little bit about Orange Media.
Okay, cool. First of all, it's Orange Is Media.
I apologize.
And it used to be,
I was missing an is.
No, it's fine because it used to be Orange Is Music, and just to kind of tie it into what I start, how it kind of formulated. I started off coming to Orlando, really heavy as an MC, making beats and stuff like that. I was very unhappy with how my response, like the investment that I was getting, I was putting in the in what I was getting out, and then I always had familiarity with cameras and stuff like that, so I would shoot my own videos and stuff like that. But I got more noticed when I was helping other artists shoot their videos. They more noticed my music more. They know, you know what I'm saying, it was income because I was charging them and stuff like that, and I was able to build my network and fan base. But I knew so many artists that were very frustrated because they only had online to express their art. So I was like, hey, what if I just started my own open mic or something like that and see, how that would go. Back how they, used to do it back where I'm from, back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Chicago, Illinois, the small coffee shops I was talking about earlier. I wanted to bring that to Orlando because I didn't really see any intimate environments where it wasn't about the host and it wasn't about the pomp and circumstance. It was about that person that just wrote like 16, 14, 15 bars. They're not really sure in a notebook and they just want to get it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I created it for. And that's what Orange Is Media is, man. I'm all about, providing services, and that's what the open mics is about, is just allowing people to, express their art.
I feel you, man. Now, starting a business is not an easy task.
Nah, man. It's not.
How long have you been going strong, and how have you seen your business change over the years?
Okay, I think I've probably been going strong with Orange Is Media probably since maybe about 2010.
Okay.
The business has changed a lot simply because I learned, man. I learned, you know what I'm saying? I grew, at first I was doing things at a certain way. Now I do things a little bit more professional way through experiences, through negative experiences, through positive experiences. But one thing I always do is I try to remain consistent. I think, you know what I'm saying, Chris could say, like, he could vouch for me that I'm always posting online. I'm always letting people know what I'm doing. I'm always giving a variety of things that I'm into, whether it's photography, whether it's videos, whether it's poetry. You're going to see something from me. You're going to be able to tell on my social media before you having your own brand was a thing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You could go on my social media and tell, oh, that's what he do. And you know, that's how it's
what I like most is that you're very opinionated. You're not afraid, or you're not ashamed of any of your opinions. You know, we bumped heads in the past, but we've also agreed on a lot of things. You know, you're into the comics, you'll drop a video on what's going on. Like I'm about to see Spider-Man tonight. I don't know if you've seen it last night.
Oh yeah, I saw it last night, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna review up and everything, bro.
I got the review up and everything. But you know, it's awesome because I met you at your open mic, and then I met you before. I met you working with Power 95. Yeah. And then we came across each other, and I saw the flyer, and I think I stepped in, and it was the environment was really dope because it had poets, it had live music, it had MCs, it had everyone coming together, and I really got to see like the spoken word movement real strong at your spot. And I got to meet a lot of dope artists. What was the process like in finding it? Did you run into a lot of bad artists when you first came out and then like kind of weeded it out?
No, I think he said he was a bad artist when he came out and he started changing his game.
Michael Jackson bad. No, man, there's no weeding out process, man. It's an open mic, so it's open to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's open to learn, man. I've seen people, I've known people performing for the past, you know what I'm saying, 4 years, and they've only gotten better. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as bad art. There's no such thing as bad music to me. There's only people that start here and have grown or not grown as much. You know what I'm saying? So you work like when you're in the gym lifting weights, if you ain't working them calves, then the calves are gonna stay where the calves at. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go in there and work on the calves.
So you're telling me Vanilla Ice was not bad art?
He was not an artist. He was not a practicing artist.
I think he was a great pop
He was a
artist
Katy Perry. He was a Britney Spears. He was a manufacturer.
Nah, he wasn't no Britney. Britney's hit after
He was manufactured. He was manufactured. That's what he was, man. Right. He could have been a real artist if he really put his mind to it and everything like that.
I think he really tried.
He really did.
He did try afterwards. He went into rock after that.
He was dancing. You got to have something to be able to learn those choreography. Yeah.
He was male twerking.
He could dance, you know. So you know, for a white boy, I mean, at the time, come on, man.
So where are you gonna host this event at? Where is it at now?
All right, so right now the event is at a very special place, man. It's called Three Masked Inc. And what's so special about it is it's a black-owned business, and it's an African art gallery. So you'll find a whole bunch of different soaps, artifacts, earrings, necklaces, dashikis, stuff that like I couldn't even afford, stuff that's like thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying? And it's everything is handmade too, you know what I'm saying? So it's a very authentic African store. The owner named Tim Bushman, shouts out. He is an excellent, awesome person. As soon as you go up in there, he greets you, and you just feel like a good vibe and energy. You know, ever just walk into a place, you just feel like a good vibe. You get that every time you get up in there. The place isn't as big as Cafe Annie's, but it's just right. You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to stuff everybody up in there so we can be all on top of each other and we just be family. It just be like just old school. Just we here.
Yeah. That's dope, man. And I noticed you talked a little bit about black business. I know we talked a little bit during the break and stuff like that. I see you rocking the Ankh. Oh, yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
All right, the Ankh life.
Yeah, talk to us about that. For those of us who don't know.
Okay, for those that don't know, all right, so the Ankh is supposed to represent life. Like, it's supposed to represent the man and the woman and the creation of life, you know? A lot of people don't really understand that the origin of the world started in one place. Even the Bible acknowledges that the origin of the world starts in one place. So, you know what I'm saying, that's Africa. And, you know, you have different things on the walls, you know what I'm saying, by the freaking genius of Egyptians, that we can actually say that, you know what I'm saying, these were their symbols, this is what it represented, this is what it mean. And that's something that I want to carry on, you know what I'm saying, in my everyday walk, and make sure that I'm representing well, and I want to be able to stem from that.
So are you exclusively black? And I'm super controversial, so I apologize in advance.
No, cool.
But are you all pro black like Dr. or I can't even call that dude doctor. I'm gonna go ahead and just say Umar.
Yeah.
Do you follow that? Because I was just watching something the other day on the Breakfast Club. Chris, I think you caught this one too, where dude was talking about he can't respect a black man that marries a white woman, and like, are you about that life, or like, talk to me a little bit about that?
All right, so let me kind of like back it up just to kind of like overall it. I believe in everything and nothing at the same time.
That's real political right there. Talk to me about that.
I believe in everything because I feel like you could find good and positivity in everything, but I don't believe diving in, putting all your eggs in one basket at all. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you could get some good stuff in everything. I think you could get some good stuff with Krishna, with Buddha, with this religion, with that religion, with that person. Sometimes we have this complex. It's a celebrity complex, whereas we buy so much into an artist or a person or a celebrity that they can't do no wrong. They gotta walk. They gotta damn near be Jesus. They have to do that. And if they don't, then we attacking them or whatever. But we could appreciate these people just for what they do. Leave it there, and wherever they may lack, just find it. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere else. So I believe in everything and nothing solely at the same time.
Okay.
Oh snap! We getting deep now.
We get there. I go there.
You know, again, I'm gonna bring it back. You know, because again, with this New Peace Mondays, I like the idea of it because, you know, like you said, you're all inclusive. So as far as the artists that come out, you've had all types of artists. I know I being one of them, Andrew Frey, and a couple other Christian poets, and you know, different things. I'm encouraging people to just get out of their comfort zone and to start coming to some of these events, just so that they can, you know, meet new people and share their talents.
Absolutely.
That's actually what we want to do. But you know, we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna play some Martinelli's by Andy Mineo and Words Play. You're listening to The Hype. Let's go.
Like 30 stacks. I looked at Dre like, homie, pass that Martinelli. If it sparkles, then you know I'll drink. Mix that cranberry juice, so now we sipping pink. Rapping slow, this track is thrown. Rap the king like it's lamp mode. New York, my mind state. Malico on that white plate. Rooftop like it's 88. Uptown with my kinfolk. Eastville where they blow smoke. I sip slow, I don't choke. October 31st, I toast to Martin Luther. December 31st, we pop that Martinelli. Boys is doing shots, my homies didn't blink. Teams down a clown, I got that sparkling drink. Hoeing up like the night is ours. Shorty's getting turned at the bridal shower. The beat dropped, but they wasn't ready. Champagne glass with the Martinelli. Hey, champagne glass with the Martinelli. Champagne glass with the Martinelli. The beat dropped, but they wasn't ready. Champagne glass with the Martinelli. You know I never got that bottle service. I brought a bottle to the Christmas service. Taylor told me drink and make her nervous. I looked her in the face like, girl, just drink that Martinelli. 30 empty bottles, ain't nobody faded. You know I'm double fisting cause my homies made it. Brian hit me like tonight we getting nice. I told him bring the buckets, I would bring the ice. Got that. Glasses in the air, if you's a rider. All my gente on that dance floor and they sipping on that cider. Got that Nelly in my system, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Say them boys is on that Sosa, cause them boys is looking lighter, right? About to mess around and spend 150. Walking to the store like where the Martinelli. I just mess around and spend like the night is ours. Shorty's getting turned at the bridal shower. The beat dropped, but they wasn't ready. Champagne glass with the Martinelli. Champagne glass with the Martinelli. Champagne glass with the Martinelli. The beat dropped, but they wasn't ready. No. Champagne glass with that Martinelli.
I got all my people with me, yeah. Wifey says she wanna sippy, yeah. I know your parents hate to drink it, sure they do. But it's all good, cause this right here, that Martinelli. Uptown at Alex, so much Nelly, they brought pallets on my tent. Still got balance in my liver, got no damage, no, nada. I'm about that good time, homie, no regrets. Shoe game too strong, I don't wanna flex. No flexing. Look at I'm a honeymooner, me and wifey in Aruba, and we bout to hit the scuba. She said take out the trash, what I look like, I'm the super. She ain't think that's funny, I'ma do it, alright, alright, alright. I got a game plan, leaving in the same car that we came in. When that Nelly's in the system, ain't no telling if we twisted or we isn't, they be yelling now.
Pulling up like the night is ours. Shorty's getting turned at the bridal shower. The beat dropped, but they wasn't ready. Champagne glass with the Martinelli.
Yeah. Champagne glass with that Martinelli. Yo, what up? You're listening to The Hype. It's your boy Crescendo. And of course, we got to bring you the scoop what's going around downtown and around Orlando. Thanks to the Ozone Effect. We got a couple events coming up. Tonight, we actually have a pop-up shop. If you guys know about Fonz always supports the local community. It was opened by a b-boy who wanted to cook. And he cooks amazing Asian cuisine. There's going to be a pop-up shop where a bunch of local brands are going to be out there. Support your local brands and local community. There's also an old school hip-hop party tomorrow night at Little Indies. And then next week we got New Piece Mondays.
Oh yeah, turn up.
Yep. And then Jennifer Desire actually is dropping her, she does the Fusion Showcase. She's doing a celebration for Andre Black.
Shouts out to Andre Black, shouts out to Jen.
Yep. We got some really dope artists on that bill. They got Maeve, Andrew Frey, I Am Pain.
They got I Am Pain. They got who else?
Couple other. Oh, they have Beta and Metal Mouth DJing, so that's gonna be a dope event.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick.
If you don't got your tickets, make sure you hit up the artists. I know they're pushing them right now. The Donut Shop is also bringing in an event on the 13th. We got Break the Chains, which is a b-boy jam. That's going to be on Goldenrod in the east side. And also the same day we got Sugar Daddy Splash Zone at the Henao Center. And Chris Soul's Forgotten Album Release Party. I'll be hosting there. But there's a lot of dope stuff that's coming out. Looks like also that same night the Bamba Brothers are going to be at Little Indies. And you got DJ Cub, Dennis Mero, and Nigel DJing that night. And man, there's events going around downtown. Ozone Rhythm by Illogic. Good people. If you guys want to sign up for that, that's an open mic over at the Haven Lounge. Let's get back to these topics, man. We were getting into some crazy topics
it's the
here.
Game, man. Let's talk about some game, man.
But I just wanted to talk it up with you guys because we do a lot of events. We work with a lot of different people, and as far as differences, opinions, they always come up. It's funny. I bring Kareem as my co-host because we disagree a lot, and I do that on purpose because I don't like not questioning why I do things.
Right.
If that makes sense. We always, I encourage myself and I encourage my family, friends, that if you're going to be Christian because you encounter Christ. You encounter Jesus. You don't just, I've been raised this my whole life, live that kind of life where you just fall into a mold. I really do beg you guys to search out your faith on your own. But as we were talking, we were getting to some different topics, especially with New Peace Mondays and the art gallery there. Also getting into some information with that Jay-Z album. You guys still are in a little bit of a disagreement. By the time we came back, you were like, I don't know.
Well, I wanted to take the first segment to just praise the work because I didn't want anybody sending me hate mail. So I'm going to go ahead and get into what I did not like about the album. I'm going to be honest with you.
Ooh, go.
I was bored.
Ooh.
I mean, let me give him props. Smile is the most intelligent song I heard on that album. That's in my personal opinion. I love Smile. I like the feel of that. I like the message of that. I love that he had his moms on the album. That was just a dope sound, and the production on that was just bananas. I'm gonna go ahead and kill Jay-Z. I love the lyrical content on that. When I think I was saying earlier during the break, here's my problem with the album. I think Jay had a Rob Kardashian moment. I think he got mad and just started putting stuff on music Twitter is really what it comes down to. I mean, I like introspective, but I don't think you necessarily need to lay your family's business out like that to be introspective.
But it's cool when Beyonce did it. Women don't like that. Don't like this. Don't
no,
like that.
I'm gonna be real.
It's okay for women to do it.
Here's my thing: when Beyonce dropped her album, right? Lemonade. We didn't know. We assumed.
We knew.
We guessed. But we didn't know until they came out and confirmed.
We saw elevator footage.
You saw the elevator footage of Solange almost getting power drive. Why is she going up against a 6'4" man in the first place? I don't understand. But I just it was an interesting album to listen to. Yep. I'm gonna be real. So
so this would be Ice-T and that would be Lemonade. So it's like an Arnold Palmer.
Don't forget Ice Cube, bro.
So I'm gonna start with the production layout. All right. No ID's a genius. That's
No ID.
I'm gonna just be real. No ID's a genius.
Kanye's mentor.
Yes, and I'm gonna say that was a stab at Kanye. I'm gonna just be real. Now I think this album was made while that feud was going on, and Kanye has produced just about every Jay-Z album. Not executive produced. He's overall produced just about every Jay-Z album since 2001, right? Mm-hmm. So him having Kanye's mentor produce the album, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that was a bit grimy. I'm gonna just be real.
Yeah, that's a undercut right there.
I'm gonna let you finish.
And I'm gonna be real with you. Anybody who has worked with Jay-Z on a very close or personal level, it seems to me that there's always beef. I don't understand it. Jay-Z is a businessman.
That's true.
I get it, but it just seems like anybody
there's a trend now.
who is, and I'm gonna be real, Diddy too. Diddy's a dog. Like we've seen that play out more publicly than anything.
Notice how successful they are too. By the way, let's just throw that in there.
Hold on. So let's define success because people define success differently. Mm-hmm. Success for me is defined by when I leave this earth, whose lives did I touch and change in a positive manner? When I leave this earth, what are you going to say about me? When I leave this earth, what legacy did I leave with my children? When I leave this earth, what legacy did I leave with my wife? It's not about dollars and bills. Now, it's going to be nice because I'm going to leave my kids some cash too, but cash is not the end-all, be-all. I'm going to be like T.D. Jakes and Steve Harvey. My kids ain't getting nothing. I'm going to leave you about 10% of what I have, and me and my wife, we're going to spend the rest because I want you to know the value of hard work. And I've said this to Chris a couple of times. I've said this to friends a couple of times. Wealth is not the answer, okay? My kids, even if I were a millionaire, like I went to school, we went to the same school, Chris. We saw kids riding around in Bentleys and Ferraris and all this bull crap. You know, I had this one dude, Cho, I think his name was Cho, right, Chris, with the Ferrari. Cat pulled up with a Ferrari, right? Dirty as all get out. I walk up to him and I ask him, I said, why is your Ferrari so dirty, bro? I don't care. I'm going to get another one next year.
I disagree that that's wealth.
I'm not... That's why I said let's define what success is, because you're talking about wealth. I'm not talking about wealth. I'm talking about success. Success is not measured in dollars. It's not.
Well,
Frederick Douglass didn't leave wealth behind. Frederick Douglass left success behind. He left a mindset behind. So
I actually think he did leave wealth behind.
He left some wealth behind, but he didn't leave.
And to that being said, though, to be honest, though, he is leaving success behind because he's also building like a trend in business and how to do things. He's doing music first.
Who's he sharing that trend with?
Huh?
Who's he sharing that trend
The
with?
music,
the rest
the
of
rest
the
of the
world.
world.
The rest of the
Hip-hop.
world. People are gonna follow
They
suit.
either follow suit
People are
or
going to
they
follow-
can continue
Jay is
holding
the
their money up
trendsetter.
to their ear and disconnect.
has always been a
Let's get
trendsetter.
back to the content. No ID. I think that was grimy. Because we talked about this in just a second. No
Yeah.
ID. That was having him produce a whole album that was grimy. Secondly, Jay-Z does not flow on No ID tracks the way he needs to flow. I mean, nothing. Okay, you said this was a top 3 album, right?
Top 3.
In my personal opinion, the top Jay-Z record is and for its lyrical, for its production values, for its overall value, I think Lucifer is the best song Jay-Z's ever done. It was real Jay-Z. And who produced that? That was
Kanye
Kanye.
West.
Why? Because Kanye knows Jay-Z's flow. Kanye knows Jay-Z's style. I felt like this was a hodgepodge. I felt like it was just like, that's a dope beat. I got some lyrics in the back. I'm gonna slam them on this beat here, and we got a record. And I'm Jay-Z, so people are gonna listen.
In my opinion, that's what Magna Carta Holy Grail was.
I thought
You know what I'm
Magna
saying?
Carta was a better album than this.
It was a dope. I mean, well, you got. Well, there's a quote that's going around that's saying people that's used to hearing catchy hooks, substanceless lyrics, can't appreciate an album that has solid production and just relevancy. You know what I'm saying in terms of lyrics wise. I think the you know what I'm saying, the album was incredible. First of all, No ID. I don't think it was a shot at Kanye. Obviously, you know what I'm saying.
Did you listen to Kill Jay-Z?
I listened to Kill Jay-Z, and that wasn't a shot, nor was a shot at Future. People are so freaking sensitive nowadays.
But no.
People are so sensitive nowadays. He's addressing issues that's already known.
Gave
It
that
was
nigga
no
20
more.
million without thinking about it. He gave me 20 minutes on stage. F was he thinking?
But he's
sorry,
addressing
that's
it.
Why
Some of the stuff he
address that
said.
when
Some of the
that's
stuff he
your-
said
that's
to
your brother?
Nas. Some of the stuff he said to Nas and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I showed you, your first tech on you dealing with that. Those are disses. Like these aren't disses. He's addressing what's happening, and he's addressing it, and he's doing it very maturely. He's not calling no B's. He's not calling out his names. He's not saying nothing he ain't gonna do. No idle threats.
Did this
no
improve
idle
Kanye's
threats.
image or no?
Did
what
this
he said
Kanye's?
improve Kanye's image or no?
I think it balanced it out. Hey, Kanye went on a
'Cause
rant
Kanye
with
went
him.
on a 20-minute
Jay-Z,
rant
yeah,
on
he went on a
stage.
rant, and
That
Jay-Z
went
offered the
viral.
balance.
I'm not
So
saying
it's
what
up to
Kanye
you.
did was right. I'm isolating an incident. My question is, did this improve or hurt Kanye's standing to the public when Jay-Z said that?
It made me understand. It made me understand. You know what? Kanye went on a 20-minute rant. Jay-Z addressed it.
It made
was
you
balanced.
take a side.
It
Is
was
what it
balanced.
did.
It made me listen to both sides and be able to come up with my own conclusion.
But that's with family though. Are you
Yeah.
even supposed to do that? I mean, if
Who said we family?
Well, he said him and Ye are family.
Who like
Jay
says who?
said that.
But family can
Ye
have
said
issues.
that.
Family can have
Oh yeah, but
disagreements.
family can't call each other
They
out,
could-
right?
they could- and they
Not
can
in
call each
public.
other out.
At Thanksgiving, you damn right.
Jay's the most chill, not personable rapper. Kanye took it there, so Jay addressed it on record. He didn't do that to him the same way. You know what I'm saying? So,
I still have to disagree with you, Orange.
Okay.
Because it is a shot, but I think it wasn't like. It was kind of like a, let me clarify.
It was like, this is why I did it. My bad. And then in the next line, he said what? Said, I stabbed Unc over some records. Like, he's telling you the grimy stuff he did. He's like, I shouldn't have did that. Like, so
That's
even
beef.
Jay-Z's acknowledging this is an issue. Like, why is this existing?
But I think overall,
and have y'all listened
I
to?
think,
and y'all, I'm sorry. One more thing. Y'all talking about this is the most conscious Jay-Z album. Have y'all heard Kingdom Come? Like, have y'all listened to the album? Like, how in the world is
He's-
no.
Gotta try it so I could, like, you know what I'm saying? Just
oh man. So
I'll
it's
look in
controversy, and the thing is, I brought this topic up because honestly, it was all over my feed. You have people saying, "Why are you even talking about it if you're a Christian artist?" I'm be like, honestly, do you not watch any TV or any movies with any curse words in it?
Let's put that nonsense to rest, first of all. As a Christian, I'm exposed to art. I should be exposed to art. I should understand the culture. I should appreciate the culture. There's a saying out there that they teach you in Art History 101. So for those of you out there disagreeing, I'm going to be rude and say, go back to school. Respect the art, not the artist. I respect what he's producing. Whether or not I agree with him, it's just like Michael Jackson think what you may, Michael Jackson was B-A-D in all caps. Everything that dude touched was B-A-D in all caps. Did I agree with his lifestyle? No, I did not agree with his lifestyle. I did not agree with his decisions. Not that I believe he did whatever they accused him of doing, but I'm going to say Michael Jackson was an artist. Beyonce, whether you like her or not, I think she's probably one of the most ineloquent speakers I've ever heard in my life. But
you said Beyonce?
Yeah, but when she gets on the microphone and opens her vocal cords, the art she produces is ridiculous.
Well, it just depends on what you call eloquence. You know what I'm saying? She's from Texas. They have a southern draw. They have that.
I'm not talking about a southern
whatever.
draw.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know,
people from Georgia talk
George
a certain
W.
type
Bush,
of way. They may
another
not. They may not talk. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's to me, nothing. And I'm surprised that you said that about the Christian. You know what I'm saying? Rap. I've been out of that circle or whatever for a good minute, where they were saying, like, how could you be a Christian but be appreciating, you know what I'm saying, this different music. And that kind of reminds me why I had to kind of take a step back, because like, I have to experience life. I cannot live life in a box. You know what I'm saying? If I live
are
life,
you Christian?
if
I'm sorry.
I'm not a Christian at all.
Okay.
But I do follow the teachings of Jesus, and I do read the Bible, because that is positive, is good, is great in that. But I don't just keep myself in that box. So no, I'm not a Christian. I just keep, you know what I'm saying, I love those teachings and I follow those teachings. So that's what it is. Because I mean, there's other teachings as well. So you have to, like, a wise man doesn't read, any wise person, do they read one book or do they read many books? They be able to get a full spectrum of everything. And that's what I want to do. And we only have one life to live. And I think it's blasphemous to do anything other than that.
I can't agree with you, but I feel you.
Yeah.
Because that's like me saying I need to read Kim Kardashian's cookbook. I don't need to read that to know it's trash. It's just kind of one of the things. But I'm gonna let that stand.
If you want to learn how to cook, you're gonna take more than one class.
Nah, if I want to learn how to cook, I'm gonna go to the master of cooking. I'm not gonna go to Kim Kardashian's cookbook.
But your master of cooking can be subjective to the time that you are in right now.
Well, that's like saying your master of music is subjective.
What did people read before the Bible was? What did people read before Jesus was even born?
They read the Torah, my friend.
Probably, but
no.
What did they read when they couldn't
accurate.
read? What did they read when they couldn't read? And if you're talking about the Torah, then not enough people was even enough people was even educated to read, so they didn't even read that.
That's actually not correct.
That may have been
let's
go back
to the Pentateuch, my friend. And if you talk about the higher people, first of all, Moses was not. When you talk about Moses, right? Moses delivered the tablets, right?
I wasn't talking about Moses. Go okay.
No, we're going.
All right,
we're
cool.
talking about
Let's get into this. It's Apologetics Live, y'all.
No, hold on. We gotta save this because it's way too much material. We gotta save this for another time, and I want to make sure I give it proper credit. Here's what I'm gonna say. Before people heard, first of all, Jesus preached from the Torah. He preached from the Pentateuch, right? He preached from the first 5 books of the Bible. Okay. Moses delivered, for the most part, the first 5 books of the Bible, right? That was when people were learning. That was when people were learning about God. Before then, God's Spirit is what people heard, is what people listened to. Okay, so that's where that came from, and that's historiology. Okay, and that's not like myth, that's not belief. These are historically accurate things. Without a historically accurate Bible, you don't have a spiritually accurate Bible. So whether or not
without a
historically accurate Bible, you don't have a spiritually accurate Bible. So and to this day, I don't recall anybody disproving the Bible historically.
The King James version, right? We talking about the King James version. Or we talking about
we
talking about the actual Bible that's in a museum in Britain right now that has almost 10,000 differences than the King James version.
So when you describe Bible,
so
Bible, you have to understand that I'm talking about the Bible in traditional sense. What you're talking about are different manuscripts. I'm talking about what came from the Dead Sea Scrolls to form the majority of the New Testament. I'm talking about what was recovered from Qumran.
And this is where you study from?
Historical. These are the books. First, they're translated. You've never read the real works of Sherlock Holmes.
But if I translate it,
but if you were to translate the Hebrew and the Greek,
you've never read the Odyssey from Greek.
You will. There is ways to do that, and yes, we have translated books. yes, the King James is very inaccurate. You know why? Because
But
it was
that was
translated.
his whole argument.
I actually
was
didn't
without-
mention
without-
King James
But
either.
most people
We're-
learn from the King James. I guarantee.
Yeah,
like,
we're not.
if you-
I'm not a King
older
James person
people,
right
like
here.
older people.
He's
Because
not a King James
I'm from
either.
I'm from a southern. You know what I'm saying? Like
People
like
use
church
the
or
King-
whatever. Most people before these NIV versions was learning from the King James. Most Americans have learned that the King James version is the most sold Bible, and this is where you're getting your doctrine from. Everything else is
my friend. I'm actually
King
Jack. You see what
King
you're doing
James
right now
version.
is making a baseline assumption, and we just talked about wisdom a second ago, and wisdom does not make baseline assumptions.
We also said historical inaccuracies, and the most, just like your man
My
said,
friend,
the
but
King
you're-
James version is
but
very
you- my
Next
inaccurate.
to
friend,
hype,
my
we'll
friend.
have you guys with boxing gloves. I
No,
swear.
no. I just, I really
let
want
me
to
say
get
this
and
real quick.
understand what
Let
you
me say
said
this
is
real
very
quick.
interesting
I want
to me.
to clarify something. First
Okay.
of all, you made a baseline assumption that I brought my translation from the King James
OT on the
version.
hype.
I did not.
I'm saying America did.
No. America actually did not take their translation from the King James version. That's the American Standard Version is actually the most widely produced in America. So you have to get your historical facts and not just these blanket statements that a lot of people have made over time. There's research that goes into these things. The King James Bible actually came from England. It was translated by monks, and it was the best that they had at the time. It was a translation that was biased. But what happened after we realized the King James Version was biased, when we found out what King James was doing in his translations, a bunch of folks banded together and said, this is not a full representation of what the scripture said, so we're going to reproduce them. And that's where you get things like the New King James Version. That's where you get the ASV. That's where you get the NIV. That's where you get all of these versions of the Bible that went back to the original manuscripts that we talked about a moment ago to get more accurate representations of what the real text was saying.
But in your own definition of a if you have a historically inaccurate Bible, then you get a spiritually inaccurate. You know what I'm saying? You said that or whatever.
No.
Was the Bible at some point? You know what I'm saying? At whatever point.
Historically inaccurate?
Is that not historically inaccurate?
I wouldn't say historically inaccurate.
Right?
No.
But you live like you just said it was historically inaccurate. That's why they have to go and revise it. And then I want to know who these people are that
revision.
had to revise it. Are we talking about the Council of Nicaea?
Let me add on to this. I just want to add on to this. When we talk about historical translation and the King James still followed the same history of the Bible.
Not necessarily
biases. the way, not the way they worded things, but it literally said Adam was first. It followed the same group of people. It followed the same
order
history.
of sequence.
More importantly, you get a historical Jesus.
Order of sequence.
That's what you get. You get a historical Jesus. And for all its flaws, King James did its best when it interpreted the words of Christ to interpret those as clearly and accurately as possible. So, but I'm not here to advocate for King James. What I'm here to advocate for is your original statement, and that was you read from every book to find out, whether or not this is real or whether or not it's right. And my statement was, I don't think I need to read Kim Kardashian's cookbook in order for me to determine that's not something I need to read.
Well, I mean that's like a
I don't
real,
have faith in that.
You ever give an example and you're trying to make such a good point that you try to throw people off with like just an erroneous statement like that? Like
what's
if I want to learn
erroneous?
about Kim Kardashian's cookbook, because we know good and well Kim Kardashian can't cook, so it's an erroneous.
How do you know?
It's an erroneous statement, but you said it to
do
me
you
in an
have
erroneous
faith
way.
whether or not she
if I want to learn brand strategy,
I think what you're trying to say is that to split both of you guys, because I think we're running out of time. We're actually in overtime right now. But just to kind of wrap up the show, because I know you guys could talk all day and maybe we will afterwards. But to be honest though, the real truth is that you can find wisdom. You can find wisdom in other things. You can find wisdom all across the atlas. I think what me and Kareem and most Christians have found is that this wisdom is what we find more evident than those things. Now, I'm not saying that we're better. I'm not saying that that we are more entitled or that we have a better opinion.
Y'all talking like it.
And no. And I
Kareem over there talking like
yo,
it.
Chris is a little more PC than I am. I'm gonna be real with
but
you.
that's the energy.
Yeah,
that's what you're being diplomatic, but Kareem is being what Christians are and has always been.
No. Life is short.
Like I'm going
I don't
to
have
come
time
to you.
to be
There has not been. Christians will come to your country, come to your country, come to the United States, come to Africa, and say whatever you learned was wrong.
What did Muslims
you take
do?
These Bibles.
What did Muslims do?
You take these Bibles.
What did Buddhists do in China? They went and slaughtered people. Are
that's
you crazy?
why. That's why religion sucks. That's why it's all bad.
But didn't you just say you're getting your wisdom from that same religion?
No, I'm saying you could get. I said from Christianity.
You said
too.
all religions.
I'm not. You could get something positive.
No,
out of
now you're
out of
contradicting
everything.
yourself, brother.
All right.
You could get some positive out of everything, but when you go into a place and you say all of what you learned is bad, we're gonna kill your parents. We're gonna teach the.
I didn't do that.
We're gonna
Kareem
kill
didn't
your
do
parents. No, you haven't. But that religion does that mentality. You carry that mentality literally. Just now, I didn't even know you was a Christian before you start opening up your mouth. But that mentality, it carries on. Whatever you know is wrong, or it's the devil. This is the only thing we need to know, and this is what it is. And that's exactly what I back away from. And I'm like, nah, bro.
I think evil is
Life
a condition of the
still
human.
here before any Bible was ever created.
First of all, again, you're making
before anybody could write. Life was still here.
But you keep making a blanket statement. I think evil is a condition of humanity. I never said evil was caused by religion, etc. You just made that blanket statement because in that same, let me make a blanket statement, that those same religions that you're right now, whether you want to say you are or not, the same religions that you're persecuting have actually done a lot of good in the same group.
I'm only persecuting one. That's
but why only one when all of them have done evil? Because you have a bias.
Because that mentality that you have.
What mentality is that? Explain
that.
I can explain it. I can explain
everything
it.
Is wrong.
I can explain it. And to be honest, it's the mentality that we're right, you're wrong, and that's gonna happen with anybody. Whether you come in this room and you say I'm right, you're wrong, that mentality in general is not gonna solve anything. I think we can learn from our differences. I think we can learn from the different things that whether it's works or arts. I think you can listen to Jay-Z. I think you can listen to Lecrae. I think you can listen to Andy Mineo. I think you can listen to all these people and get different perspectives.
You can listen to everything.
But at the same time, I'm gonna make this statement. When you find truth,
the truth, not a truth.
When you find the truth, whether it is Muslim, whether it is Buddhist, whether it is anything, I think the biggest thing to do as a human is to stick by your truth. And I think what Kareem has been argumentative about is that there's a blanket, if everything is right, how is anything wrong? Like, how can we,
what if my truth says your truth is a lie? Is it still
everything
true?
is relative,
your truth.
The thing is, when everything is relative, there's no absolutes. So if I say I want to go rape kids, and I think it's right in my heart, and you tell me, no, that's wrong, don't do that, I'm gonna be like, no, everything is everything. Everything is relative. Mm-hmm. And when we say statements like that, I think that's where the conversation changes. That's when things. And I'm all for peace. I'm Switzerland most of the time. I'm a stick.
And to quote the Bible, right, blessed are the peacemakers. I appreciate you trying to make peace.
I will try to make peace. But honestly, I love God. I love Christ, and I didn't get that from church, because I think the main thing is church is a flawed place. They're flawed people. They're sick people. It's like a hospital. You go to a hospital, there's gonna be doctors there, but the doctors can get sick too. Those are the preachers. They're gonna get sick too. But if you have that concept that, oh, well, I'm never going to go into a hospital because there's sick people there. How are you ever going to get healed? Mm-hmm. And I think that's a problem that we face today, is that a lot of people don't want to accept a solid truth. And I understand it. I'm going to be honest. It's easier to live life. It's a lot more peaceful to live life without having an absolute truth.
Or accountability. And I think that's a big piece. You're not accountable to anybody. That's easy.
But in all honesty, I think we can learn from our differences. We can be better people, but at the same time, I strongly suggest that you find the truth. Find the truth.
Wait.
Be solid in it.
Except Buddha. I can't take advice on abstinence from a fat man.
I mean, who's better?
Hey, so we're gonna end with one song. Let's just end with Crooked Ways. We're gonna end with Crooked Ways by Propaganda. All about the crooked ways America's been screwing us over. So I think that's a good way to end it.
Trump 2012.
All right, you're listening to The Hype.
Cool, man. Good.
Word to grandpops who couldn't fathom the Obamas. I don't hate America, just the man she keeps her promises. 20 teens looking like the 60s, it's crazy. A nationwide deja vu, what my people supposed to do. Go to schools named after the Klan founder. Word round town is I don't see why we frowning. Native American students forced to learn about Winnow Sarah. How is that fair, bruh? Some heroes unsung and some monsters get monuments built for them, but ain't we all a little bit of monster? We crooked. Man, your heroes are worthless. And man can show try, but only God gives purpose. You crooked. Be humble or be quiet. Your kingdom can catch flames as effortless as riots. Entire empires a card castle, chill. And the strength of your whole team is crumpled with one meme. It's crooked. Your whole works is twisted. He ain't old enough to buy beer, but go and enlist him. Send him to Iraq, and why he come back crazy? Cause no human being should see the inside of a baby. You expect trust in a system that needed to be convinced of the madness of trust in a court that waved a Confederate flag. It's crooked. That's twisted, demented, perverted. Got fallen written all over us and got the nerve to judge each other crooked. That logic fatally flawed. Like sickness is a sign that you out of the will of God. Like 1 ounce of crack gains the same amount of jail time as 18 of cocaine, but ain't they the same thing? It's crooked. Stay eating our own kind and muster up a scandal instead of celebrating shining. Somehow that's righteous, like the world needs to know. We exposing imposes with judgmental bold. It's crooked. And at one time we built pyramids. One can only wonder why we ain't wiped ourselves out yet. We're as good as it gets. Crooked, clueless buffoons put a man on the moon, and I still can't get cell phone reception in my room. It's crooked. Well, that's often off kilter, awful standoffish. Plan is outlandish, an awful uncanny resemblance of Miss Mark, like Chris Columbus might as well have landed in Denmark. Me, just an all-star Chuck Taylor. I'm saying the fact I ain't get lost on the way here is amazing. Me, just a crooked stick in all of his goodness, and somehow the school to prison pipeline missed this. And moving minds swiftly and changing entire industry, tailor-made for greatness, cause cuz got bad blood. Yeah, y'all still looking at a tunnel rat, pen player, earthworm, battle cat, hates trend. Might learn my lesson the day after the world ends, and been wrestling with it since my wife was my girlfriend. Crooked like I take a bullet for my wife, yet I wonder what's under the skirt of the girl on my flight. These eyes of mine wander lost sight, come and get me. Homie, I'm not a leader, just a hippie with daddy issues. Shattered dreams and promises, a closed-minded hypocrite. All the while standing in the pulpit, the culprit. We are all of the above, right and wrong and indifferent, yet none of the above it naturally fit in this. Subjects and predicates subjected to my detriment, dedicated to elevate and devastate in pride. It's quite a ride, but if you look inside, bruh, some things just don't make sense. Go with it. We stay perplexed at the truth that defies logic, but who say that logic the best way to understand it? Man, that's the thinking of our colonizers. Truth is proven only through ears and eyes, and if you can't touch it, then you can't trust it. That's why they can't explain the love in my daughter's eyes, and that's that conscious rap. Oh, that's played out. You old school, you old dude, you aged out. It's not cool, them old rules, they phased out. There's new rules, them new dudes ain't like you. They say you hating when you don't toss them a retweet. I study for every test, and y'all is looking for a cheat sheet. Things I gotta tell you, love you too much to be scared of ya. Concoction of contradictions, misnomers and paradox. Conclusion confusing like the way that I see me. An apex predator, 10 steps ahead of ya. Desperately trying to hide my insecurities. Paper mache property, trying to hide the duct tape. Defending my card castle like it could stand in one gust of wind. The lust of eyes shackle me, just as I be tackling my inner demons, eating through my marriage and my parenting. What is arrogant and humble, eloquent, ridiculous, confident and nervous? The smell of cigarettes and broken dreams. Sold out the tickets for the VIPs. Bands that could have been contenders, now Venice Beach vendors. Like, dog, that could be me. I swear I never wear skinny jeans, but homie looks real dumb in size 40 Dickies. That's laughable, better be adaptable and hit the road to see how far that rabbit hole go. This is present tense, none of this, already I've been delivered mess. None of that pseudo-righteousness, I'ma let you guess the rest. Lusted little clusters, surrounded by natives. That's the picture of foolish pride in the eyes of General Custard. Hey, watch his eyes slowly close like, yeah, what do we remember the Alamo? It's confusing, American generals get statues, even for the battles that they lose. People are so perplexing,
perpetuating the same hate they out protesting. And Netflix exposing the holes in our morals like, whose side were you on, Walter or Skies? You cornered now, cause every corner boy is now humanized, trying to make ends meet, just like you and I. That shifts your paradigm, bruh, that go. Change your life on sight like the skies in Morocco. What is man but rich soil, toiled in fine Hennessy? A beautiful garden that cost a pretty penny. Listen, it's freely given, but you've been warned. These halos stay balanced on the tip of our horns. We crooked.
Track, you played it back in stereo. Now that's your favorite song, they play it on the radio. I stay working like that, you hear me, you don't feel me though. And when I level up, I feel like Super Mario. Yeah, I'm on the way up. Say that offer later. You want me good, I'm gonna be greater. Yeah, you say you're on your way up now. Way up, way up. Way up, way up. Way up, way up, way up, way up, way up. You say you're on your way up, way up, way up, way up.